Well, welcome back to Cable 14's Generation Z, and thank you for joining us again. And as I mentioned before the break, right now we're here with the two finalists of the Lions Lair 2016, Jacob and Ahmed, who are both the founders of Hint. So thank you so much for joining us today. How are you both?
Great, how are you?
I'm very, very good. You guys are like twins here. You can tell that you're meant to work together. Yeah. You're answering at the same time. Even before the show, you got up at the same time. I'm liking it.
We spend too much time together.
Oh my gosh. Are you related or something? You don't look related, no, but you know what? Maybe at heart you are. So you're both Lions Lair finalists. Congratulations. That is definitely a great achievement. Yeah. So why don't you tell us about the process of the Lions Lair, how it went, challenges?
Sure. Well, we won a pitch competition at McMaster, so that was really great and got some seed funding there. And then we thought, why not apply for the Hamilton-wide pitch contest? So we applied to Lions Lair and we became finalists, but I don't think we won this time around, but maybe next year.
Oh, exactly. And you know what? Sometimes it's not always about winning, right?
Yeah,
I know, of course, your goal is to do well, be successful, maybe win the grand prize. But ultimately, I really do think you're winning just because of that rich and rewarding experience you were able to get of just being finalists, right? Yep. I think that in itself is something you should be very proud of, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And what did you learn from that experience?
How to be on camera, I guess, was it's actually a lot harder than you expect, because you go out and you pitch your idea in public, but then it's a completely different story how you do things behind the camera. It's a totally different world, and you just need to adjust to that. From the Lions, they not the Lions themselves, but the judges gave us some very valuable feedback onto our business idea, because we're still in pre-revenue, so we're still early on. So it's good to have that very valuable feedback from professionals who've already been doing that for
and
10 or 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. And do you find that the advice that you received from the Lions has really helped your business, and have you seen results from that?
Oh yeah, definitely. With their feedback, we've been able to sort of refocus our immediate goals and our long-term vision for Hint. Now it's a lot more concrete. There's more steps that we know what we want to do in the next short period, but as well over the next 2 years or 5 years as well.
Exactly, and I'm sure it's really helped you with your goal setting and figuring out the grand image and the vision that you have as to where you want your business to go in the future, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. So what is Hint and what do you provide?
So Hint stands for Healthcare Innovation in Neurotechnology, and as the name suggests, we're doing something related to neuroscience. What we're exactly doing is a wearable point-of-care monitoring device for stroke detection in sleep.
Wow, that is very interesting. So what is the grand problem that Hint is solving? Like, what's the problem that it's solving for your target customer?
Well, many people, before they have a stroke, they actually have a warning stroke, also known as a transient ischemic attack. Okay. So these people have the symptoms of a stroke. They go to the hospital and the symptoms clear. However, they go home and they're at really high risk of having a real stroke that could leave them disabled, or unfortunately they could die.
Yes.
And so our device is to monitor them during that high-risk period, so that if they do have a stroke, they can get to treatment really quickly and receive the really highly effective treatment.
Wow, that is such an incredible business. I'm almost in awe right now just thinking how many lives that can save, right? Hopefully. Because there's so many people that they don't even know that they're having a stroke, right? And then their life is just ended instantly, right?
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate, but I really believe that it's so incredible that there's a business like Hint out there that can warn you beforehand so you know what to do, right? So in regards to your businesses, what are the advantages that the customers have with Hint?
So by taking advantage of that early warning stroke, or a TIA, as Jacob mentioned earlier, we're able to let patients know of the onset of a stroke as soon as it happens. And the thing is, for every minute you wait from the onset of a stroke, 2 million nerve cells die in your brain. So the sooner you get to treatment, the better. And the treatment on the medical side is effective. It's just a matter of getting there as soon as possible. And so what Hint is able to provide is letting these people who still get a stroke, they don't have to go through a life-changing disability or long-term damage. We're able to say, hey, you've had a stroke, but we still can help. You can get treatment right away, and that's the biggest advantage there is to it. You don't have to live in fear of, am I going to get a second stroke? Am I going to be okay? Is my family going to be all right?
Yeah.
And these are sort of the things we're able to tackle right away with Hint, which is, I would assume, is a huge advantage, because if you're helping saving someone's life or eliminating any long-term debilitating effects, then that's definitely something the patients would want.
Yeah, that is very true. And I really think that when you're starting a business, it's very true that you need to find that problem that you're solving. And I really think you both are the perfect example with Hint of problem solving and making right decisions. And I really believe that's inspiring for people that are trying to start up their own company. But in regards to your business, what was your inspiration for starting this business? Was there a personal story that you'd like to share?
There's no grand story that,
Yes.
none of our family members have
Yes.
had a stroke or anything like that. But we did meet a lot of people when searching for a real medical problem to solve. And one of the stories we've met along the way was of a husband and wife. And the husband had a TIA, as we said, went to the hospital. They scheduled him for a follow-up appointment. And just a few days later, he had a stroke. And so nobody was able to help him during that high-risk period, and he was now paralyzed. And the wife, he actually had his stroke during sleep, so they didn't know, so he couldn't get to treatment in time.
Yeah.
And now the wife is scared that this might happen again, and she still sleeps with the lights on.
Yeah, and I would even think once that happens to a family member, a friend, or even your spouse, right, someone you dearly love, you're going to be scared that it's going to happen to you too, right? Mm-hmm. And after seeing the negative effects that had occurred with the person who had the stroke, you wouldn't want the same to happen to you. And with Hint, I really believe that's great because now you can prevent that stroke, and you know that all the warnings for that stroke and everything as well. So as I mentioned with today's episode, it's all about smart decision making and good decision making. And what advice would you give to starting entrepreneurs about making smart choices and problem solving?
I'd say the most important thing to start off with is put together the right team for whatever it is that you're trying to build. Sometimes you might not even have a perfect idea of what your solution is going to be, but as long as you have the right team, someone you get along with that you know has the same goals and ambitions as you, is what you really need to begin with, because these are the people that are going to stick with you during the hard times. It's not always rainbows and sunshine. Sometimes, actually most of the time, you're just plowing through difficult times, and then it's your team members who help you get through this. And I'm lucky to have Jacob as my partner, and we're looking forward to see what Hint is going to be able to achieve.
Exactly, and I really do wish the both of you the best with Hint. I really think that this business so far is already so successful, and it's solving so many people's problems, especially in regards to the stroke. And congratulations again on the Lions Lair finalists. That is so awesome. And I really wish you the best of luck in the future with your business, and we'll definitely have to stay in touch. It's great. So we have your full page board if people would like more information in regards to Hint. There's their phone number, the website, and your email. Feel free to get in touch with them if you have any questions about Hint, and also if you have any questions about making the right decisions. So thank you so much for tuning in today for Cable 14's Generation Z for our second episode. So far we've learned the 2 keys to success are to discover your authentic purpose and to make the right decisions. So I hope you can really take all that advice you've learned today from our 3 experts about making those right decisions, and I call you to action for that. If you don't want your business to fail and you want to see success, make those right choices. So I hope you stick with us and you will join us again for our 3rd episode to discover what the 3rd key to success is. Have a great day and see you soon.